The DJ Roundtable Show is live. It's the DJ Roundtable Show. Tell another DJ about the show. Please subscribe.
It is Tuesday night. It is 8 o'clock. Do you know where your DJ's at? I know where I'm at. I'm here with you. Yes, again, it's another DJ Roundtable. And as always, I'm your gracious host, Buddy Mueller. And we are surrounded by some great DJs here, having a lively discussion before the show, as always, and great having conversation with everyone. It's always fun. It truly is a brotherhood here with everyone, having fun, talking, and discussing ideas. Speaking of discussing things, make sure if you're here live on Twitch, we do this live on Tuesday nights. Please say stuff in the comment. We'll answer it as soon as we possibly can. You have to excuse me a little bit. There's allergies. It's that time of year for me. So yeah, trees want to reproduce through me. So yeah, the allergens are bothering me. And then of course, if you're watching us over on YouTube, do me a favor and please help me slay that mean, naughty beast. That right there is the thing I've been asking for everyone. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also tell another DJ about the show. And Amy says so in the intro and into the song. Tell another DJ about the show. We want to spread the word about us. And also we have a few others. Again, we also have on tomorrow night, we have the DJ Biz School or DJ Business School. We have Matt just moved. We have Sean here from that. And then, of course, on Thursday nights, we have, Mikey Mike's one half of it. Dwayne, who's not here right now, which I thought he would pop in. We had their show. And, it's also, we have one other show, too, on Monday nights with Cool Thing, Hunter. He does his own podcast. So, again, on Thursday nights, you can go over to YouTube. Make sure you follow Dwayne on his channel. Links are down below. And they have their show over on Thursday nights. So, it is also Cue It Up time on Thursdays. And they do the same time as we do. So, make sure that you go and watch those other channels. Links will be down below on YouTube. If you're watching us on Twitch, if you want to, I go put links in. Mike, if you also want to put the link in for your show, for Cue It Up. Sean, if you want to put your link in on the chat for your channel. Dwayne is on a mission for the show. Well, there you go. He's on a mission. Man, it's like I'm waiting for the Blues Brothers to come in and say they're a mission from God, As a Chicagoan, I got to say that. I don't know if you guys seen on my personal social media page, but I had a wedding show this past weekend. And one of the places that was there, one of the catering companies, is Portillo's, which is a big hot dog, multiple location stand here in Chicago. They're famous for their version of the Chicago hot dog, Italian beef, and of course I get their hamburgers. They have really good hamburgers. They have Barnelli's, which does pasta, and a salad. But the cool thing is that and actually Tracy got me them, little foam hot dogs. They're Chicago hot dogs. So they have the mustard, the relish, the onion, the tomato, the dill pickle, everything on a poppy seed bun, little foam, squishy little toys. I got to keep away from my assistant. She saw it the other day on Sunday and grabbed it, thought it was a new play toy for her, so I had to get it away from her. She was good. She dropped it right away. She didn't damage it, so thank goodness for that. But I got a couple of those, which I'm like, really, really cool. And I thought that was really great. Rockford, for me, it is about an hour and 10 minutes. I go there quite a bit for weddings. So I go out to Rockford quite a bit. Mike is asking questions. But as always, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And I see Big DJ Service. Thank you for tuning in for the first time. Thanks for chatting there. I appreciate it. And again, Mike, I always graciously appreciate you being here. And we'll see who pops in here throughout the night. So I have my list here of always great ideas I have written down all the time. Um, oh, you always prefer Luke's in Chicago on Harlem Avenue. I got one of the guys here. He's a Chicago DJ. Um, if the one at yep, Luke's. I always when I a long time ago when I cruised Harlem, listening to freestyle, because I'm a big freestyle fan, and also Chicago House. Uh, Luke's, I would go there for their hamburgers. Their beef was okay, their hot dogs were okay. But if you remember, across the way was Wags. I would go to Wags. And then you had the Cockeye Gringo across the way. I'm not a fan, I'm not a big Mexican food fan, but my friends would go to the Cockeye Gringo, which is now Taco Burrito King. So, and if I'm going to go for a hot dog, my favorite place where I grew up not far from is actually Super Dog up on Milwaukee and Nagel and Devon, basically. So if I'm going to go for a hot dog, not far from my parents' house, I would go to Super Dog. So with that said, going Chicago geography.
Oh, and speaking of hot dogs, if you're ever in the Garden City, South Carolina area, make sure you come to this place,
Sam's Corner. But
Yeah.
if you're in his area, cool thing, do him a favor. Get him a gift card to Starbucks or Dunkin'. And then, hey, I like to meet you. Give him a Starbucks gift card or a Dunkin' gift card. He loves his iced coffees. Who else here likes iced coffee? I want to see you raise a hand. Who likes iced coffee? I don't drink coffee.
Neither do I. No coffee.
No coffee. I do drink Monster. I will drink that once in a while. I do like the taste of it. I switch to zero sugar, but yeah, Mike does iced coffee. Yeah, so I know a lot of people like iced coffee. Tracy likes coffee. Um, it's funny. I'll touch on this real quickly. One of the first dates I went on with Tracy, when we went down to Lincoln Park, and she's like, she got a mocha, pepper mocha from Starbucks, and she got down to the bottom, which is supposed to be really chocolatey. She goes, "Here, try this." This is when we first started dating. I think it was our second or third or fourth date. It was just, we're still just started dating. And I took a sip. I'm like, oh my God. Because it's coffee. Even though it's at the bottom of chocolate, she's like, oh, this is really chocolate. You got to try this. Yeah. No, I just can't do coffee. I'm sorry, guys.
That'll ruin it for you.
Yeah. Well, even before that, I wasn't a fan for coffee. So, oh, wait, Dwayne is coming in. I guess his mission's over. He must have got what he needed to get. There it is. Cue it up. One of two hosts of Cue It Up on Thursday nights. Dwayne, welcome back. I appreciate you coming in.
No problem.
And I wanted to talk about this because it's something that I'm sure Sean's going to touch on, and he'll probably go a little bit more in depth about how to get some stuff. But as we all are small business people, and we all are on social media, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, be it TikTok, YouTube, whatever social media service you want to use. It's one of the things that, how do you, as a business owner, how do you really tap into the power of reviews? And when we mean by that, how do you get more 5-star rating reviews, from clients? So if you are talking to a client, a customer, and again, we do this at the end of every wedding, we ask, are we worth 5 stars? And when we do that, we're trying to talk to the client and see if they would do a review for us. And we ask them, if we send you a link, can you do a review? And we send a couple of different reviews. We send for The Knot, Wedding Wire, Zola, Google. 4 links. They could be the same exact thing. They can copy and paste. We don't incentivize them at all. We don't say, hey, do this, we'll give you something. No, I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to do that. I know some people that do. I don't agree with that. But we ask for those reviews, and we tell them, helps us with marketing. This helps us get in front of other customers, because then when we talk to people, like I just had a wedding show on Sunday, I can tell them, hey, you know what? Read our reviews. Those are other couples that were in the same spot you're in right now in front of me, deciding who they want for photographer, for videographer, for venue, for this, for catering, whatever it may be. Reviews do help. And good reviews, bad reviews, whatever it is, you want much more good reviews than bad reviews. But the thing is that you want to try your hardest for those reviews. And trust me, Tracy and I try every single couple. We talk to them. And then toward the end of the year, we also send an email out to everyone asking, hey, you know what? The people who have not left a review, we always mark down who had left a review of our couples. We always send an email out saying, hey, before Christmas, hey, can you do us a favor before the end of the year? Can you give us a review on these links? We really appreciate it. We're trying our hardest to make sure we have as many new reviews as possible when we go into wedding season. And that right there helps out tremendously because of those reviews, the newer the reviews are, the better off you are. Because you have a review from 1999. Hey, that's great. 1999. It's 2025. That's 26 years ago. So when you're looking at stuff, you want to have fresh reviews as much as possible. You want to have that churn of information that you can point to, and customers could say, "Hey, DJ Solstice Matt did a heck of a job on my wedding, and he knocked it out of the park." Or Dwayne, I love the fact he did ABC. Or Sean, he was an officiant. He had an officiate our wedding because the officiant showed he's a lifesaver. He saved my wedding. Or Joe did his awesome light work that just made my wedding pop. Or Chris brought a foam party to the wedding, and it was the best wedding ever. My friends and family are still talking about it. So those are the things that people look at. So I want to ask you guys, because again, I give you some suggestions and let you guys marinate this a little bit for a minute or so. How do you, and again, how do you really tap into that power of reviews? And how do you get more 5-star reviews? What do you do? Is there a secret to get 5-star reviews? Do you ask for reviews? Do you ask your clients, am I worth 5 stars? Am I worth maybe 4 stars or 2 stars? And if you do have a client that says, hey, I feel that you're only worth 2 stars, how do you overcome that? How do you talk to them and get that up to maybe 5 stars? So I'm going to start with actually Dwayne first.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to start with Dwayne first and ask him, because again, he's a little newer in the game. He doesn't have the years and years of experience. And I want to see how he's doing reviews and how he is overcoming and asking people for those great 5-star reviews. So Dwayne, how do you tap into the power of reviews, and how do you get those to get more 5-star ratings? How do you really tap into that? How do you milk that area, basically?
Lately, after each one of my events, people come up and compliment on the job that I did. So it's at that time that I tell them that I'm trying to, because I've just joined the DJ company, and there's another one that I'm interviewing for. So I tell them that in order for me to move up in the company, that I need these 5-star reviews. So basically, it's easy for me to ask, because when they come up and then tell me how great the party was, then that's when I hit them with the review pitch, and then I'll send them a link, and then I ask them a couple of times, and then normally they'll go ahead and do it. But if they don't, then I might ask them like a month or so out from the event. Then after that, I don't even bother anymore, because I'm on to something else.
So when you get the reviews that you're doing, it's for the company that you're subcontracting for, correct?
No, it's for me, myself.
Okay.
So the company, since I just started, like back in October, I didn't have any reviews. But they told me that try to get some reviews, this, that, and the other. But then when December came, they saw I had a handful of reviews. And also they went to each one of the events that I did between then. So between October and now, you see a whole bunch of reviews that will go along with the events that I have. along with the videos, along with all the other stuff that I'm doing. So it's like hand in hand. So it's not, so it doesn't seem like I'm getting a bunch of the reviews from the same event. You know how you can get a bunch of reviews from a group that was at an event, but you can kind of like see that the reviews are coming from different places, and then there's pictures to back it up and all the extra stuff to verify that what they're saying.
Okay. And that's the important thing is that, having proof that those reviews are organic and not made up by someone and put in there. I think it's very, very important too. And it's good to get those reviews. Again, you started in October and you said how many reviews you said you got?
I think I'm up to 12, and
That's
then
good.
I'm supposed to get a handful from the gig I did this weekend. It's just a matter of staying on top of them.
Well, who are you getting a review from? From every client? I mean, every customer that was there, or just the people who hired you?
No, whoever came up and said I did a good job, I'm like, it doesn't
Yes.
matter whether it's a client or guest. If you were at the event and you can vouch for me, it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. A review is a review.
Well,
It's a
yeah,
great idea from the guests.
it's good to have some guest reviews, but I think the bigger weight, if you're a customer looking to hire someone, a bride or a groom, you want that as a more heavier weight. Not like a parent or
Of
something like
course.
that, leaving a review. Again, it's a positive thing. And good reviews are good reviews. I'm not going to say don't get any good reviews, but I would say, and again, I'm going to go to Sean next and see if he will correct me on this. I would say there's more weight to it with the bride, the groom, the person who had the party, the company, the person who hired you at the company for a corporate gig, the parents of the girl who's having the quinceanera or the bar mitzvah or a bar mitzvah or any event who the person is in charge, looking to hire another, DJ for an event. And I feel that has a little bit more weight to it. Everyone there
But
leaving a
it
review.
really, actually, it really doesn't matter. It at the end of the day, a review is a review. So if you're gonna get a review, why would you turn down a review from a guest that's gonna give you the review? Of course, you're gonna ask the client for the review, but to me, at the end of the day, it's not like I'm gonna beg for a review either.
No,
So
no,
if
no,
I get
no,
a
no.
review from a guest, then so be it. But I'm not gonna understand that it means more from a client, but still at the end of the day, a review is a review.
But when you go to certain sites, let's say like the Knot, Wedding Wire, Zola, a wedding focus website like that, or if you go into a focus website for a certain event, you want the clients who hired you to do that because not everyone can go into there and leave a review. So Google is a great thing for those catch-all reviews. So everyone who comes into the event, if I walked up and said, "Hey, dude, you did a heck of a job with the music tonight, lovely. Hey, you know what? Do me a favor. If I can give you the link to Google, can you leave a review? Not a problem. Again, it's weight. It's. I'm not saying not get take reviews. I would never say that. I'm saying that I feel that there, depending on what it is, there's a little bit more weight when the person who hired you is leaving a review versus someone who just showed up there and enjoyed it. And again, it's positive, which is good. They're giving you 5 stars. Take the 5 stars and run. That's not a problem. And that's the thing is you got 12 reviews from October to now. That's phenomenal. That is very, very good. And again, if you get a few more reviews between now and the end of May, that's again, that's phenomenal work. That's hard work on your end, and that's taking those reviews and making sure that you're capitalizing on that review. So I'm gonna go next to Sean. And Sean, what do you do with 5 star reviews? How do you get them? How do you try and pull them from customers? How do you tap into that review area?
Yeah, so I mean, we touched on this a little bit in last week's episode on the Biz School. Um, for us, after every event, the week after an email goes out, it has a questionnaire form for our own reference, so they can fill it out. We know how we did, and then it also has then all of the links to our review sites. We push Google more than anything because Google is what helps your SEO the most. Obviously, if you're paying for the knot, you're paying for the wedding wire, you're actively getting leads on those sites, you want to build your reviews up on them. But if you're not paying for those services and you're not really getting leads for them, Google should be everybody's number one focus. And what we do with our email that goes out, we actually provide a sample of the perfect review that they could leave us. And what we're looking is we want them to mention the location that the wedding was at. We want them to mention the specific services we provided, and then obviously whether they had a good time or not. But by them mentioning specific services, like if they say we hired Sean to be our wedding DJ, having wedding DJ in that review is going to boost your SEO. And so the more times you can have that on your Google review page, it's going to help your Google business profile rank higher. So we send out a whole paragraph. You guys can watch last week's episode. We read the entire paragraph that we sent out on it. But trying to get those keyword specific terms when they leave those reviews are going to help you so much when it comes to SEO and showing up higher when people are searching on Google for a DJ.
And that's the thing, is that, guiding them, giving some guidelines to get a review, I think it's also a important thing, because, asking them for a review and then having them, put in stuff that they can do things to help with your SEO, I think it's huge. And that's another thing. That's why, like Dwayne getting 12 reviews, that helps his search engine for his website. That helps his search engine for him to become more populated in the, northeastern Ohio area where he's at, and he's populated an area. And that, radiates throughout the whole entire area, maybe down to Columbus, maybe over to, Toledo. And someone's going to, hey, I saw this review on Google that you're a great DJ, and I'm in Toledo, and I want to hire you. I don't mind paying the extra fee for you to come over. And Dwayne says, yeah, it's an extra fee, an extra $100 or whatever for me to come over there. And they do it because of the reviews. That helps him out. It gets him business. And at the end of the day, the reviews are there to help get you business. Am I correct, Sean?
Yeah, 100%. Your reviews are there to help you get business. And then again, they're there to help boost your SEO. So yes, the number of reviews helps tremendously. And that's from a client perspective, them looking and seeing like this guy's got 57 5-star reviews. That's awesome. But then again, the content matters. So if you don't go and buy reviews from like Fiverr or somewhere like that. If you have 50 5-star reviews and there's no substance to those reviews, they're not going to do you as much justice as somebody who has 10 good, natural written reviews from actual customers. And another part of that too is location based. Obviously, Google can see where people are leaving those reviews from. So if I go and have my cousins out in California leave me a bunch of reviews on my Georgia business, that's not going to carry the same amount of merit when people in Georgia are searching for my industry. Those reviews are coming from California. So you want those nice, localized, location-based reviews with good substance coming in, and that's what's going to help you the most more than anything.
Yeah, and it's always a partnership between you and everyone else. And I also feel advocating for the other vendors that are there, the venue and stuff like that. And, not calling out, saying, oh, you got to leave a review for everyone. But, just a quick reminder, hey, by the way, don't forget, leave reviews for other people too. It helps them out. We're all small business people.
You can also go and leave reviews for the vendors you work with. A lot of vendors, if you go and leave them a review, they're going to leave you a review back. We can review each other. There's certain planners that I absolutely love. This weekend, I've worked with this planner several times. Every event, when she's done with her part and we're in open dancing, she is out there just dancing away, having the time of her life. And you can just tell she loves and enjoys her job. We left her a review, a 5-star review, talking about how much she loves and enjoys and how good her events run. So even as vendors reviewing other vendors, it can help you get those reviews back in return as well to help build reviews from other industry professionals.
Yeah, and that's the important stuff. Those cross reviews can help you with that as well. And they again, they're helping promote you. You help promote them. Mike did put a link down below for Mike and Dwayne's show. Cue it up. He also Sean put a link down below, if I could talk right, for YouTube for his channel. So make sure you look over there. A little bit of chat. Hey, Adrian E, what's going on? Crossfire, what's going on? Mike, of course, always welcomed here. And like I said before, I said hello to Big DJ Service. We're talking all the Chicago stuff, and it's great to see another Chicago DJ here. The Mike was saying, first of all, I don't think any DJ, photographer, videographer, or athletes are worth a 5 stars. 5-star means you are perfect, and no one or anything is perfect. A 3.75 to a 4.5 is what I would rather, I guess, rate someone. Which I think, it's like, if I knew that about someone, I wouldn't ask for a review from you then, because the fact that you would knock my stars down from 5 down.
We're in the service industry, and it has different weight than a restaurant. 5 stars is not perfect. 5 stars means nothing went tragically wrong. Anything less than a 5 star, something went tragically wrong. So 5 stars is average. Like, 5 stars is you did the job and you did it well. It doesn't mean you were perfect. You're like, a restaurant getting 5 stars means it was incredible. Service was excellent. Food was excellent. Value for money was excellent. Same thing with like a hotel. But when you're in the service industry, like, if you would rate like a plumber or something like that, 5 stars means he did the job, he did it for an acceptable price, and I was happy with his services. Anything less than a 5 star to me is considered a total failure. So in this industry, like, if there's any little thing that goes wrong, I won't ask for a review. But 99 times out of 10, I ask for a review, and I get it. And I text my clients. I don't deal with this email crap. Like, I will tag them in Instagram, because most of my clients follow me on Instagram. I'll tag like footage of their event. They'll say, "Oh my God, it was so amazing. We had the best time ever." I'm like, "Great, here's a review link." Boom, send it. Usually they do it that day, maybe next day. If they don't, I'll follow up via text like Monday or Friday, and then kind of go from there. But I don't usually let people get away without leaving a review if they say that they were happy with it. Every once in a while you get clients that just, you don't feel like it was a good connection, or they just don't respond. That's when I just don't ask. But like, I've got 222 on Google, 75 on Yelp, 130 on The Knot. Wedding Wire is garbage. Nobody uses it. So I don't bother with that. And then Zola is also garbage. We don't use it out here. So those are the 3 I use. So between those, 400 to 500 reviews, all 5 stars, never anything bad said in any of them, perfect rating. So yeah, that's my take. But it's obviously it's important for business. If you don't have reviews, you don't have validity, and you got to have current reviews. I know a lot of DJ partners of mine that have reviews that are, one a month or one every 2 months. I get one every week. So, that also shows clients you're actively doing business and you're out there killing it. So, yeah.
And the other thing, Matt, how do you how do you get yourself to 5-star reviews? Now, you said you text people. Well, I do the same thing. I text, or I am them on Insta or on Facebook. I try to do multiple steps, emailing. I try to communicate in multiple ways to try and get it out there. Email is probably the bigger one, but text messaging, asking real quickly, that kind of stuff. It all boils down to whether more receiving the information. How did they communicate with us more? Did they communicate us through more email than text message? Then again, that's what they're more comfortable with. That's where I'm hitting them. So when you go to talk to your clients about leaving those reviews, and you go and ask for those reviews, how are you tapping into that? What are some of the things that when you're talking to them to get them to leave a review for you?
I say, sorry if there's background noise, but I say, come back to me. I'm going through a tunnel.
All right. He's in the tunnel of love right now. He, Matt's in the tunnel of love right now, and I'm gonna go to Joe out in California. His the other California DJ. Matt is actually
So,
in Disney. So Joe, you go ahead and tell us.
so I have a process in place. Basically, I create that when you're talking to clients and you want to make sure you build an emotional bond with them, you get the information and they feel comfortable with you, correct? You do the event and you can either do a review, ask them for a review via over here is Google or Yelp. I have probably about 112 reviews on Yelp, and 83 are basically behind the scene for. So I kind of started migrating from them over to Google. And thank you, Sean, because I watched your show last week or your episode. Very insightful. But I have a process in place. I have a lot of communication with the bride and groom. If they don't feel like they're not you can kind of tell by the text messages and the emails how they respond. If it's very short, then it's kind of, oh, well, this is lengthy, so I know they're going to write a decent review for me. So what I'll do is for an event, I'll usually send them a text the day after. If it's a wedding, I kind of wait. I find out if they're going to go on their honeymoon, when they're going to come back. I'll send them a text along with a couple pictures. And I basically, I adjust um, my text according to their event. And I'll just kind of give you an idea. This is one of them. It was truly an honor to be your DJ MC. Would you please be kind as opposed to 5-star review for our business? We surely appreciate it. Thanks in advance. Here's the link. We're always looking for feedback from our clients. Did our setup meet your expectations? Did we play your musical requests? Were we prompt to respond to all your emails, texts, and phone calls? Did we arrive early for your setup or for your event? Was our website and event planning account helpful for your event planning? Was our personality friendly, respectful to all your family and guests? So I'm kind of guiding them in a sense of what to write in the review, because you just say, can you just give me a review? And they have no idea what your expectations are or what you want, because to them it might have been a big deal for you to do the ceremony, the sound, or like say I'm doing a quinceañera and I asked the father, hey, would you mind? I could do a voice tapestry. So I'll record the dad beforehand, and then I'll do the father-daughter dance. I'm playing music, and then he comes and it says a little speech in the background. Very emotional. Everyone's like, oh my God. So, usually it's a surprise to either the bride or, the daughter of the quinceañera, because they're not expecting it. And they're just like, but it's very emotional. And it's things like that that put you above everyone else. What did this guy do different than everyone else? Right? So it's like emotional connection that you have with your client. If they're not going to go ahead and leave, like say a 5-star review on either Yelp or Google, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and ask them for a testimony, and I can go ahead and put that on my website or on my social media, be it Facebook, Instagram, put a couple pictures, tag the location, the vendors, very important, because you want to have that exchange of business with them. And then they'll see that, oh, this guy went out of his way and tagged us. And of course, you might want to ask them if, do you want to swap reviews? It's kind of a, yes and no. It's a hit and miss sometimes.
So, Joe, let me ask you this, and I'll ask everyone else this too. I'm Matt. Just turn off his camera real quickly. Here's a question for you: who here, when you're taking pictures at the wedding, we all take pictures, video, who here on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're putting your pictures on or video on, tags the bride and groom and finds out their hashtag, finds out their tags on Insta or Facebook or TikTok or whatever social media you're using, and is tagging them all the pictures that you're doing So it's reciprocal and keeps going back and forth. I know Tracy does that, so I'm going to say for us that we do that. I can see a show of hands who tags their clients on social media when you're doing
I
pictures.
tag them, buddy, but I do ask for permission. Very important that you ask for permission because sometimes they freak out.
Oh, we always
You gotta
tell
ask for
we
permission.
always tell them
I actually
beforehand.
I actually got caught one time because I tagged the school in like pictures of the winter disco, and they brought me out saying that we can't have you posting, pictures or video of the kids dancing without their permission, without a permission, with like a consent form.
Schools are a totally different thing
Yeah.
versus a
Yeah.
birthday party or a wedding, and that you can talk to the person directly to the couple. We always tell the couple that we're going to take some pictures, we're going to tag them. They know beforehand. We always tell them what we're doing, so there's no surprises. If there is a couple that says, "Hey, don't take any pictures," we've run into that for whatever the reason is. We honor their requests and we say, "Okay, fine, great, no problem. We're not going to do pictures or we're not going to do anything like that." Because we don't want the client feeling, weird or anything like that because we took pictures, but we're trying to capture moments and showcasing that what we've done at an event. And that's a hard thing. Like schools, I'm very much against taking pictures at schools because you're dealing with minors and because they're, just to protect them. Unfortunately, there's bad people out there. Plus, again, it's just, trying to get information from all the parents and okay, it's a nightmare. So taking video or pictures at school, outside, say, hey, I'm doing this dance at school, walking out the parking lot, not a problem. At the school itself, I would say no. Again, high school is a little different, but like grade school, stuff like that, especially, it's a hard thing, especially depending on the school district too. They may have policies and procedures. So I would always recommend, talking to whomever. Now,
Wait,
Parker,
I
I'm
can
gonna go
finish
back-
I can finish my thought now.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have a second. So how I approach the reviews, I don't give them any sort of template or anything. I don't really ask like, do you think we're worthy of 5 stars? Like, I just know that it was a great wedding, or they already offer some words of praise, and then I just say, okay, great. We'd love if you leave us a 5-star review. And that's pretty much it. I just kind of leave it up to them to write however they want to write, and that's it.
Again, we tried to put some guardrails on Tracy. Again, when we send a message to him, again, either via text, or email, or through IM, through one of the social media sites, we tried to put some guardrails and help them out with stuff. And Sean is correct about putting the city in that the wedding was in, or the birthday party, or the quinceanera, or the corporate event, and calling out that, hey, I hired Joe for a wonderful corporate event for such and such company, and he did dinner and cocktail, set up sound system in the main area where we had awards and speeches from our regional president or our CEO or whatever. He did a fantastic job. Him and his staff had wonderful music, and when it was a dance floor open up for after the awards and the celebration started, people were out there having fun, enjoying themselves, but people were able to have conversations. And I feel that right there is very important. Or you have like Chris or something like that, put in, he's in New York. It's in the area of New York he's at. He's not in New York City. He's not in Buffalo, so he's a little further upstate. So because of that, when people think of New York, they think of New York City automatically. But there's a whole nother part of the state. It's like, Illinois, people think of Chicago, even though I'm in the Chicago suburbs. If I go further west into, if I go into Kane County, if I go into the LaSalle County down south, I go out to Grundy County, or if I go out further west and south, there's a whole nother part of the state. I'm in DuPage County, but I can still go a little further west and way far west, up by the Illinois-Iowa border, or up toward Wisconsin. So there's a lot of areas I can go to and still be in Illinois, but people don't associate Illinois. If I say, where I'm at in Illinois, they're like, what's that? If I say Chicago, oh, okay. People know that. So it's one of the things that, like, where Chris says he's out in that further out area away from New York City, not near Buffalo and not near Syracuse. He's in a big town, but he has his own area. So having that geolocation, that geofencing, basically for your events is very important. So people know that this area of New York State, I can get a good DJ and get a phone party. So Chris, I'm going to go to you next and ask you.
One quick thing I will say, if your clients are on a honeymoon and they're going out of the country, You want to make sure you tell them to wait until they get back to write the review, because Google will know that the review is like being posted from out of the country, and its system will sometimes flag it as spam and it won't actually post.
Yep.
So I've had that happen a couple times. Or if they use profanity in their review, or if they use like way too much, it seems like way too good to be true. Like, oh my God, this was amazing, blah, 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 blah. Like sometimes Google just flags stuff for no reason. And there's no way for the review to ever show after they write it, even if they rewrite it. It's just a Google thing, which is annoying. And you can email them and tell them like, hey, I had these reviews, they're not showing up, and they'll show them up. But that's also how I got my first profile suspended, because I was using, you know, a PO box or whatever at the time. I got it back, but now I pretty much never, I don't contact Google in any sense ever. So if that happens, I'm just like, oh, well, I'll just tell them go to Yelp or go to Wedding Wire or The Knot, or because The Knot, you can post as many fake reviews as you want on The Knot. Their system is terrible at there is no like spam detection filter or anything on there. So The Knot is great. Wedding Wire is great. Yelp is great. And then that's pretty much it. So just a point to note.
So, Chris, what about you? How do you get your reviews for your events? How do you pull those 5-star reviews out of the midair?
Well, how I'd have to do it is because I haven't had any really. I haven't really asked as much as all my events are really referrals from other DJs and stuff still. You know, like I said, I'm not on social media, don't have a website, so getting reviews is going to be hard. But I mean, I do have Google accounts for the business, and that's probably how I'll have to approach it, is start off with that. I really got to get into the social media, probably a tiny URL to a review site for Google. That'll probably hit off very strong. This event behind me, this will be my third year coming this year. They just booked with me about 2 weeks ago for a third time. So I will send her a link to get me a Google review. And this is for a municipality's library system. So I can't wait to do their third event and have something new expanded onto what I have. So this is going to grow a little bit. I change something every year, giving something another experience a little bit better. She's asking for other services from me. So if she's asking, I definitely got to have her do a review as soon as I can. So a few other clients I have like that, I'm excited to initiate getting reviews, and it will be direct marketing to them to ask for that review when, as Solsa says, a couple days, you know, for events, you know.
And that's the important stuff. And having your Sean went through this and making your Google page for your business, that's a nice little, you know, doormat out there on or shingle, or wear a sign on the digital posts in the digital world out there saying, here's my business, and, you know, asking for reviews. I'm going to go back here to, I stopped the chat so I can read stuff, and I wanted to go through this. Mikey Mike says, asking for a review is like asking for a $500 tip. Be humble. If they give you a review, that's great. But if no review, I would leave it at that. And he also said chasing reviews is like an attorney chasing after ambulances. And he said me, Crossfire, and Adrian E. I don't agree with that for like chasing the ambulance. It's your business, and getting reviews, I feel, is an important thing. Crossfire,
Yeah.
not too bad. Did I'm sorry. He's talking about what he did an event, 2.5 hour. I thought he was talking about that. Let's see here. Yeah, it's all for fun, but in 21 years, I've never asked for a review. And he also followed up later on and said, where he said, so a mechanic is a business person. If he does a well job, is a 5-star review. Yeah, I would definitely say if he does a good job, you're happy with it, it's a 5-star review. Was it a perfect brake job? Unless you know what you're looking for, you're going to hope that he did a good job. But it's one of the things, like for a bride and groom and stuff like that, it is, like Matt pointed out, it is a different thing. He suggests the bride and groom to create a tag for the wedding and tell people to put 3 or 4 pieces of paper with the hashtag they have created. Yep, that's not a bad thing to have a hashtag in areas around the room or around the place where the weddings at, usually where the place cards at's another great place. And you can always call it out too. If the couple ask, you can do that as well. So, Joe, you
You
wanted
know,
to say something?
buddy, yeah, reviews are a invaluable source for us because they also let us know what we're doing wrong or how we can correct something that we could do better. So if we think, okay, everything's perfect, yeah, you were good, but how did you improve? What did you do to make yourself better than the last gig you did? So this feedback is so important for me in my business because I want to understand from a client's perspective what was important to them and how I can improve. I just think it's invaluable. It's not so much the reviews are good. It used to be the referral thing. Hey, I gotta call this guy that I did his wedding 2 years ago, blah, blah, blah. But now that we have, I want to say formats in place where they can leave reviews or they can send you something. You can put it on your email or you can copy that text. Hey, this is what our bride and groom said about us. The other thing is I like to do is live video testimonies. So if I feel the bride and groom aren't that savvy in writing a review, I'll ask them if it's okay if I do a live review there, interview. Hey, how did you like the party? How's it going? Da, 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 da. You don't want to wait till the end of the night because by that time they're probably a little drunk, tipsy. But you might want to ask in between, just pull them aside. Are you having a good time? Da, da, da. Would you mind if I do a quick, visual review? And they, sure, not a problem. So that's gold in itself because now you have a live review from a bride and groom or a client or a customer that normally wouldn't write anything, but at least they'll say a few good words about, your business. But I think it's very, very important that we understand that it's feedback for our business, how we can improve.
Yeah, and that's important. And Dwayne, I'm gonna go back to you real quick. And for like again, because you're newer to getting reviews for your business and you're building your reviews up and stuff like that, what do you think? Do you think reviews are something that you need to have, or do you think more of them along Mike that you don't ask for them? It's like chasing ambulance, or what do you think about reviews?
Um, Reviews are very important because when I have got the last couple of weddings that I had picked up because somebody either overbooked or needed someone to fill in, and they informed their clients that they had like a backup DJ. And from what I had gathered before talking to the clients, it was that at that time I didn't have any Google reviews. So that made them skeptical of what kind of DJ I was until they met me. So Google reviews are great for people to look up to see if you're valid in what you do. Also, Google reviews are great when I had did the Google campaign ads for a couple of months. That did boost me up when I searched up my name, like DJs near Cleveland or wedding DJs or whatever. I I fell within the top 10, and a couple of
So you're
times I
you're
was in the top
populating up
three
there,
of
which
my
is good.
area.
Yeah, that's good populating up there, especially for SEO. That's very strong to go into your whatever you're pointed to. So your website or to your social media and stuff like that is very important. And again, like for everybody has ideas on this stuff. I again, you guys, I guess see a show of hands. Who here feels that I don't care. It's Google, YouTube, social media, The Knot, Wedding Wire, any of the sites that you point customers to for reviews. Who feels that that's your digital sign out there in the digital world for customers to see? It's like your sign for your business, McDonald's sign or whatever sign you look at that's showcasing your business. Who feels you're doing that? So, oh, yeah, the system says that you raised your hand there. I always love that with Dwayne has it on his Zoom that his hand, when he raises his hand, it shows his hand up. And so it shows a little yellow hand on the display for me. Uh, but it's one of the things that when you look at stuff like that, that's the difference. And Mike here, which is a very important thing, said if you don't do a good job, no one will refer you, which is very true. Word of mouth is the best review to a point. And the reason why I say that, here's a study that I can tell you that I ran into many times in retail management. This is something that multiple companies I worked for in marketing have told me over and over and over again. A customer who has a bad experience, they will tell 3 to 5 people. A person who has a good experience will tell 1 to 2. Why is that? Because people are quick to look at the bad and say, this, whatever the business is, fast food restaurant, mechanic, DJ, photographer, stinks because of XYZ. But if someone asks, hey, a recommendation, okay, they may give you up. That's why having those reviews out there are kind of those, basically in the modern age in 2025, is your basically referral from other customers. And that's what you're doing. That's why you're getting those reviews, because that is a digital referral from the event you just did, wherever that event is, to other clients looking for a DJ, a photographer, videographer, whomever it is for those. Mike says bad news spreads like wildfire. Good news flows like honey on a cold day. True.
I think you can also tell a lot more from a bad review than from a good review. So like if I I always tell people, like, when you're doing your research on DJs or any vendor, look at the bad reviews. And if there aren't any, then, that means there aren't any. Like people say, oh, he has 230 or 50 5-star reviews and not a single 1-star or bad review. That's not good. No, that just means that you're great at what you do. But if you have like that many reviews and like 3 or 4 bad ones, like read the bad ones, because that'll tell you a lot more than the good ones will.
And how many times do you read a review on a restaurant or whatever, and someone gave a restaurant a 2-star review, and they're talking about things that had nothing to do with the restaurant. It was a gray day. It was raining. My dog ran off. I had to go find my dog. And
Why don't you look at that with Chinese food restaurants? Go look at your local Chinese food restaurants. Every single one of them have 50 to 60 bad reviews of 1 or 2 stars, and you always find maybe 4 or 5 that say 5 stars, 5 stars.
I always, my rule of thumb is on Yelp, if I'm trying a new restaurant or looking for somewhere to go on a date, I will absolutely never try a restaurant that has less than 4 stars. And I stand by that, and Yelp has never led me wrong. So
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Anything less than 4 stars, like that means, that means that there's been enough people that have been dissatisfied that have brought that review rating down.
Or Mikey Mike's been there a bunch of times because he won't give a 5-star review.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Hunter. Hunter, reviews. How do you pull that area of reviews in for yourself?
Well, to tell you the truth, I really don't do reviews. I do word of mouth. I don't mind word of mouth. I'd say, that's how I mostly get my referrals and how I get gigs, is through word of mouth saying, you are great, good job, we want you back, and all that stuff. So I do word of mouth, and I don't really do reviews. And I had a couple of reviews on my business page that had nothing to do with me or anything. It just were all negative from people I don't even know, like spam reviews. I had to delete those and report them to Facebook. So I don't really do reviews. And I tried Google at one point, but I just kept getting called and bullied and harassed. So I decided to get rid of the Google and just stay, lay low for a little bit and just go to word of mouth and trusting my friends and family, since I am in that circle of friends and family, and they know they can trust me as their DJ.
Oh, there you go. Mike, Mike keeps, I'll get right back to you right in 1 second, Joe.
Okay.
Mike keeps pinging away over here in the chat. He said here in Pennsylvania, he can go look at the court system and see if someone has any criminal offenses, which is true. You can Google your local county and Google a person's name and see if there's any they've been any criminal activity pretty quickly. And if there is any offenses in bad check writing, he will not accept a check from that client. I haven't accepted a check from a client in years, and that's because the fact that I do everything digitally. It's 2025, and
You're not doing many corporate events, so I mean,
corporate
Yeah,
corporate events they now they just use their corporate credit card.
Credit card. Yeah, I don't take checks.
I still get checks from the client. It could be like
No.
a check, it could be a school check, and I put in my my bank account and
Yeah,
every-
yeah, many school
yeah.
districts will use checks.
Yeah.
Many
business checks are
municipalities-
different.
Yeah,
Business
okay.
checks are okay.
Yeah,
because they're
municipal
not gonna
checks are
bounce.
different too.
But personal checks, we do not accept personal checks. I will never accept a personal check. It's if you don't have the means to pay digitally in 2025, that's a huge red flag. Every single bank is partnered with Zelle. And when people say, "Oh, I don't have Zelle," it's because you're stupid and haven't set it up yet. Like everybody has a bank account app. Zelle is included with every single bank. It's an agreement that they have with every single bank in the nation, basically. So that whole excuse of, "Oh, I don't have Zelle," like I don't use
These
Venmo,
means
like
they haven't set it up yet.
please,
Yeah.
sir.
Me neither. I don't use any of those apps either because I remember
That's a red flag.
because that's how I got hacked. Was someone was asking me for money and it was from another country, and I just got all my social media gone.
Well, that's called
Gone.
you not doing your research.
It's a scam.
Yeah, he unfortunately Hunter got scammed. So Joe, you wanted to say something real quickly?
I got scammed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I were to tell any newbies, upcoming DJs, or people that haven't started in the review base, I would say migrate to Google because again, that's the multi-platform. I tried Yelp for the longest time, and again, I had mentioned I have 118 5 stars that are seen, but the other 82 are basically 5 stars, but due to their analytics, they basically put them behind the wall. So you're asking for the reviews and you get it on the site and then it disappears. It goes behind the wall. So what good is it, right? So I would recommend using a platform that is not going to call you up and say, "Hey, would you like to sign up, with us? We'll give you all this business, yada, 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 and pay $500 a month, and we'll post all your reviews." Or would you rather go to a platform that is basically not going to call you up every week and want your money and say, "Hey, come with us," and your flags aren't going to be, basically put behind the wall. So that's the biggest pet peeve that I have with Yelp is they got you by the kahunas, So my advice is use a platform that they're not going to go ahead and say, we're not going to post your stuff. It's simple as that.
Yeah, Yelp is famous for that. And a couple other things here. Crossfire says he
Here's
does
the
cash.
workaround. I'll tell you the workaround for Yelp, just so you have it recorded. You can absolutely never send them a link to your Yelp profile. Absolutely never do that. That will automatically put it in the not recommended. They have to find you organically, which means you have to tell them, "Hey, look up DJ Solstice in Irvine, California, and write your review." And if they don't have a Yelp account and they create one just to write a review for you, automatically it'll get posted in the not recommended. If the review seems suspicious by any means, like they haven't had they had a Yelp account 10 years ago and just posted another review. Basically, you have to be someone that uses the platform, uses the app, or at least, seems legitimate. So if it's just like a one review and you've never done anything else on the platform, so I always ask, like, I always send them Google if they have a Gmail account, but some people don't have Gmail. Some people use Yahoo or they use Hotmail or Outlook. If they don't have Google, I'll just say, "Hey, if you don't have a Google account, here's our link to the knot." And
Wait a
then I'll
minute,
say,
Matt.
"Hey,
You're an Apple person. Aren't they supposed to have a apple.com?
no, nobody uses Apple's email services. They just use the Apple app, the mail app. Nobody uses at iCloud.com. Get out of here.
That's another thing.
That's a red flag.
If you have to create a profile on Yelp, to post a
yeah.
review.
Yeah.
People don't like to do that. They like,
Yep.
you know, and then it
Exactly.
only shows up as one review. So I guess again, it's not going to get.
That's why Google is king. Almost every single person in the world has a Gmail account.
Yeah.
A lot of
Even
people have
Pat-
Gmail
even
accounts.
Patrick
A lot of people
Warburton.
have. A lot of people have that, so I can leave a review. Crossfire says he guess he's stupid. No, you're not stupid. Again, like I just feel 2025. Again, if you want to take cash and credit cards primarily, that's entirely up to you. But I hope also you have the availability to take credit cards too, because I know your area you're at, it's more rural, so you don't get it like up here in a major city. So you're a little bit
Square
different.
is free to sign up for. SquareUp.com. It's free to sign up for.
It
They take
is Square to sign
3.5%.
up,
I forward
and
that
you
fee
just
to the
pay
customer.
for use. You do. Mike says tonight's show is a 3.175. Man, he's just cracking
What's
us.
up?
He's like, you know,
I'm spitting dimes of information here. What are you talking about? All my
Matt, have
pointers
you
are
ever
5
had a
stars.
credit card chargeback?
Never.
Hey,
Never.
that's
Very lucky.
that's
Nope.
that's
And
that's
I
a
have the money.
Good
The money
luck
gets
trying to
deposited
tell
instantly.
that bank to make sure you get paid, because all the person has to do is dispute it, and you'll never get that money.
well,
Are
again,
you,
that's
let me- let
you
me
can
ask
take
you a
someone to small
question.
claims court for that, because then it's
That
got
only
the services,
that only
and then
happens
it
if
goes
you
to the
suck at
court system.
DJing. That
Let
only
me ask
happens
you a
if you suck at
question.
DJing.
Are
What,
you
Joe?
taking the 3% hit, or are you basically
No, absolutely not.
telling the client
I
to
and
add
I
that
charge it
3%?
to the client. I put it as a tax, but I label that tax Square's fee. And that way they know that Square is charging me this much to process. And I tell them, we accept credit cards, but it's going to be an added 3.5%. If you want to avoid that, use Zelle or use Venmo. And I know, California has
Pay by
some stupid
check.
law about that now, but they don't, because I've seen plenty of liquor stores and other establishments still putting that convenience charge on credit cards. So if they can get away with it, so can I.
Okay.
Well,
Many
I-
states
I
I'm
you
not
can't.
taking. I'm not
I
taking
would
that
definitely
hit.
say
I ain't
not to
taking that hit.
charge, because that charge you get for the credit card companies, it's also a thing you can write off in your taxes at the end of the year. It helps with your tax
I write everything
liability.
off.
I
I didn't take
I
anything
don't
this
charge
year.
the customer. I don't charge the customer additional fee. The 3.5%. It's part of doing business. It's just like I go to
Well, you
McDonald's, I
also
buy a
have that
hamburger.
per swipe too.
Yeah, they charge a
At
fee per
15
swipe.
cents,
Yeah,
they gotta have that on their own.
yep. I have
Yeah.
no problem paying that, because again, it's a cost of doing business, and that should be built into your pricing.
Imagine all this. Must be nice to be MasterCard or Visa and make all this money on credit card swipes. Must be
That's
so
the
nice.
way the world works. You want to use something, you want to make it convenient, you got to pay the piper.
It's a monopoly.
That's the
It's a
thing.
monopoly.
Well, again, you got to pay the piper.
Or a quadropoly between them, Discover, and American Express.
There you go. Well, Mike also says his advice is prepare for your event, and remember, we're all human and can make a mistake. This is very true. We all make mistakes. We're human, but it's how you recover from those mistakes, how you come back from those mistakes, and what you do to overcome them. So with that said, I know we've gone a little bit over our time, and we started a minute or two late, so we're almost on time. We always go a couple minutes over. We're going to continue on the conversation in our own little private area, and hopefully you guys will enjoy yourself. Hopefully we'll see you guys back here next week. And again, like I said before, I appreciate everyone here, and appreciate everyone watching, and hopefully, you guys all enjoyed tonight's episode, because again, this is something that, one DJ says, I don't do it. Another DJ says, I do it. Another DJ says, I'll do this or I'll do that. There's always different ways of doing things. Even though Matt says he does things his way, that's his way he wants to do it. Still love Matt, still love all you guys, and appreciate you all as well. So tonight was going to take us out. I asked last week, was Joe. Joe said no, and I had Chris do it. So now, Joe, you had a
No.
week.
No,
Come
make it next
on.
week.
Come on, Joe.
Please,
He's doing next week. He can do the
next
6th.
week. I
All
promise.
right, Dwayne, you want to take us out, sir? You're muted.
You're muted.
I hope you all enjoyed the show. See you next Tuesday for the DJ Roundtable. Make sure you check out all our other shows. Monday, we have DJ Cool Thing doing the Time to Spin. Then we have Chris on Wednesdays with the DJ Biz School. And then you have my show and DJ Mikey Mike's show, the Cue It Up DJ podcast on Thursday. All of the shows are at 9 o'clock. And then, but Buddies, of course, is on Twitch, but you can see the replay on YouTube at 1 o'clock every Monday. And then Sean's show on
Sean.
Wednesdays is at 7 o'clock. All of these are Eastern Standard Time. Hope you all have a great week and see you next Tuesday.
You guys all enjoy yourself, and also out to Big DJ Service. Hopefully that we moved to Wisconsin. Hopefully you stayed a Bears fan. And another question is, are you Sox or Cubs? Because I'm Sox. Bear down Chicago Bears. We just and unfortunately we just lost Mongo, so it's
Bears
right
still
now,
suck.
Cubs. I go for the
Oh,
Cubs.
boy.
I go for the
Oh, you don't like Major League Baseball, so I want to give it a second or two, see if Big DJ answers back real quick, or is he gone?
The reason why I like the Cubs is because we are an affiliate with them, with the Pelicans.
I'm a White Sox fan, so all right. I think that's it. All right, guys.
Must suck to not be in LA. Must suck to not be in LA and not be a Dodgers fan because we're unstoppable. Sorry.
Bears and Sox. There you go.
Hey,
Bears and Sox.
Dodgers
You got
used to be in
a
New
Bears and a
York.
Sox fan up there in Wisconsin. So us Bears fans are everywhere. See you guys later.
Peace.